What's going on, Wolfpack? Time again for another wolfofbricks.com update. I am Jim, and of course, this is where we talk about LEGO investing and reselling. So you may have seen the thumbnail, right? We're talking about minifigures. And just to let you know, I have made two attempts to do minifig videos. And I'm like, I just can't do this. This is out of my wheelhouse. This is out of everything, right? And I'm on TikTok a lot, which is embarrassing to say, but it's just the truth. And so are so many other people, right? I found this awesome account. It's called Paul is Typing. And as far as I'm concerned, he's the minifig expert. So welcome to the chat today.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm flattered that you think of me as that. And thank you very much for having me on the show today.
Yeah. So let's just get into it, right? Because I'll just talk to you about my mindset whenever I was starting to, kind of scout minifigs and see what are collectibles. And, I'm not necessarily that person that's trying to go after that $75 minifig. And I don't even know if that's out there. I'm sure there are.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm looking to maybe turn $2 or $3 into $20 and $25, right? And so I do what I usually do when it comes to my due diligence is I'll look at some retired lists. So right now we're in 2022. I'll look at some retirement lists from 2020, and they do have minifigs, just individual minifigs. They also have sets, of course, but they don't list the minifigs in the sets and all that other stuff. So, for example, I was going over the Beekeeper, which I think came out maybe a year or two ago. It was a city beekeeper. It was in a poly bag. And I was like, oh, that looks like it might be something. And it was up $1, right? Nothing to write home about. And after 20 minifigs, I'm saying to myself, what is going, I'm just missing it. I need to phone a friend and I need a little bit of help here. And that's when you come in here. So was I doing it wrong or how do you do it? Or
yeah, oh my god, I mean there's so many things with minifigures. When it comes to investments just in general with Lego, minifigures do hold insane value, but I still think sets are the way to go when it comes to if you're looking for a good ROI. As far as investing in them here, your best bet isn't really going to be anything that's like you can find on shelves or maybe retired a year ago here. It's really things from back in, people call it the golden age of Lego, like back that 2013, 2014, 2012 era where everyone, at least my generation, were still kids looking at that. That's where a lot of the value, I think, comes from figures. If you're looking to invest, though, in figures just generally, for anything really, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, offer up these places like this here and just buying hauls of figures from parents, kids that are getting out of Lego that are looking to sell their collection off. That's where I find my biggest return on investment. I made a video a couple weeks ago where I bought a $5 little Ziploc bag of minifigures, awesome online. And one of the figures went for $20. And there was maybe 10 figures in that whole bundle. If I can put them on BrickLink and resell them, I'm looking at $50, $60 of a return. There's a $10 investment, someone local just selling minifigures. So it's not any real one minifigure I would look for in a minifigure series pack or in one set. It's really these bulk buys that I looked at and then resell those, if that answers your question.
Okay, it kind of does. So that $10 baggie of minifigures that you purchased, did you know that was in there, or were you like, oh wow, this is a great surprise? Or is it, just the law of averages states out of every 10 baggies of minifigs I purchase, which I mean, this just sounds shady when you say baggies, but
yeah.
There will eventually be some good finds, and I always make my money back. Is exactly how do you go through that?
It's really a coin. It's a mix of both, honestly. I bought that individual bag, looking at it like I hope that there's something in here that I find. They had posted pictures of them online, but they weren't figures. I'm not someone that just knows figure values off the top of my head, so I really bought. I was like, please, hopefully there's something in here, and then while I was making the video, I was bricklinking the prices of the figures, and I was like, this figure's $5, this figure's $10, and I was like, oh, this one's $20. So it really is just, it's a shot in the dark sometimes, or there's sometimes those ones where, I don't know if you've bought anything off online like that before, but it was with a bin of Legos, it's like a bulk Lego, and you zoom in on the picture, and then there's one figure, oh, this thing is $60 for the whole tub, and that one figure goes for $50, and I can see a part of this set, a part of this set. I'm just going to buy it and hope that it goes through. And a lot of the sets I have in these bins over here, it's just bulk Lego that I bought offline, and there's been some hits in there. I've been scammed that way too. So if anyone's watching is looking at doing that as a business investment, I would, go for it, but be careful. You can get scammed very easily. But I mean, if you can see back there too, I have about 7 modular sets all right there. And I bought those every one of those modular sets for $400. And one of them goes for like $300. So it's insane deals you find. That's how I get all of my investment. And half of my minifigures that I have right here when I make videos, I've just gotten off of good deals on Facebook, again, Craigslist, things like that. So it's really just a shot in the dark, but you hope you make it.
Yeah, and it sounds like the law of averages eventually catches up with you in a positive way, right? Okay. So without going into detail, because I never the last thing I like doing is inviting people to come on and they're very gracious and then kind of ask them what their secret sauce is. I don't like doing that. But if you don't mind me asking, like what's the most expensive minifig that you have right now?
Oh gosh. I mean, I love talking about this. Like this is my bread and butter. So please, I love these kind of questions. Darth Malgus hits pretty hard. I got him. I got the whole set. I got offline for I think $60, the whole set and the figure. And the figure itself goes for I think it's like $150 right now. Pre-Vizsla, Star Wars 2, that guy's like $130. I have a Jango Fett here. He's like $60. I mean, I could go on. Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man. I have tons and tons of them. It's crazy, but a pretty expensive one. My most expensive was Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean, but I traded him at Brick Fair, Virginia this past summer for a Shazam minifigure and a Blue Beetle minifigure. So I lost money on that one, but got 2 figures that I really wanted. So personal collection versus money, but
in the end, it's whatever you love, right? So there's no harm there. Okay, is there ever a scenario whenever there's a certain theme, whether it's Minecraft or Batman or something like that, or maybe even Marvel, where a set will come out and it's a reoccurring set, like they may have tweaked it or something like that, and you're saying to yourself, okay, this should have a minifigure worth whatever. Or for example, there's a set, and you might need to help me out here, back in 2012 where there was Wolverine and was it Daredevil? Wasn't Daredevil?
Oh, Magneto. Well, there was a Wolverine and Magneto one. There's been a couple Wolverine sets that go for a good amount of money. Yeah.
Yeah, and that set was really a premium was on it because of the minifigs, and there was some other, because people were like, it didn't go up because of Wolverine, it went up because of this guy. It's the Marvel character with the red and black mask.
Oh, Deadpool. Oh, yes, Deadpool. Yes.
So
that's a notorious one. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I know nothing about Deadpool, and I'm looking at you Marvel maniacs that are watching this. But like I hear that's the only minifig, or there might be one other Deadpool minifig. So that's why it was such a popular set.
Yeah, well, and that's something that I was going to touch on here. The reason that a lot of these figures have such insane value, and like, I mean, I'm a huge Marvel Star Wars guy here, so I invest in these minifigures because they hold a personal like spot in me that, I mean, I want a figure of something that I like. And that's why a lot of these figures are insanely priced, is because there usually is only one of this figure, and it's a figure that everybody loves. Like Deadpool is one of the most famous Marvel characters, if not like one of the famous out of the X-Men to come out next to Wolverine. Like he's just insanely popular. So when LEGO makes a set of a really popular character that's only one of ever, and it's been almost 10 years now that hasn't come out, yeah, that figure's going to go up insanely in price. A really good example of a figure that was in huge demand that LEGO didn't even make before was the Phase 2 Commander Cody that came out in the new AT-AT, or ATT. I mess it up all the time. But that figure, there were petitions online for that figure to come out, and everyone wanted it for years and years. You look at like Phase 2 Captain Rex, one of the most popular clones in Star Wars, that figure is pricing around $150. So you look at his counterpart, Captain Cody, or Commander Cody, that never came out. Clone Army Customs, there were tons of fake figures that came out of this. Like, everybody wanted this thing. And when it was announced, that's why the set, you can't find it on shelves right now. Everyone wants the set. And I think that the whole ATT and Commander Cody are a great investment when that set retires in 3-4 years, however long it takes. But that's a set that I think is on shelves right now that you want to look at investing at, using your double VIP points, finding it on sale at different places. I'm sure come the holidays, Target and Walmart and things like that will have those sets just flying off the shelves with deals and all that. So, yeah, there are definitely sets that are super expensive because of one minifigure for sure.
Yeah, I plan on going in deep on the ATTE.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you said something that reminded me of something that we talked about before we started recording, where there was a custom minifig company that will do printing and stuff like that. So the thing that caught my eye on your TikTok was, for me, I see a natural evolution towards certain things when you're doing Lego. First is, you're into Lego and you just want the Lego sets. Like, you're not interested in the mocks that might not even be sacred to you, because you feel, that's, even though it's Lego bricks, it's not an actual set that Lego produced. And so you just want to stick with that. And then eventually you're like, you know what? I want that F-18 mock that is Lego, right? And then said something that I was like, this is brilliant. Sometimes you'll need that one helmet for a minifig, and you either go to an outside company that does that, or, and this is, the most taboo, is go to Alibaba and buy a helmet that is Lego compatible, but it looks awesome on it. And, that fulfills the need, and you don't have to petition Lego and say, listen, it's been 3 years since I've been waiting. So, I mean, would you agree that that's like the natural evolution of an AFOL?
So, yeah, this is a huge, super hot take that I think I share with no one else in the Lego community, really, is that I'm someone that, people criticize Lego all the time. I won't say that only does it, but I criticize by taking my money elsewhere. I don't buy from, AliExpress, Alibaba and stuff. There's actually a flea market local to me, like 10 minutes down the road. And this guy there sells these figures. So instead of waiting 2-3 months for shipping on these online Chinese sites, I'll just buy it from him for $1 more or something like that. And he gets his money, I get my money. But really, what it came down to was they were figures that were in sets that I looked at and I was like, this figure is missing a good amount of detail on it. And then you have these fake companies or custom companies that are making these figures that look better, usually are the same like plastic quality as Lego, and are a fraction of the price. I look at my custom, I don't know where it is right now, my custom Mordo from Doctor Strange that came in the big Sanctum Sanctorum over here. A $250 set. And half the figures did not have arm printing or leg printing. I mean, I 100%, I love Lego with everything in my heart. Like, I will, when I can, I buy Lego like every single time. And if I ever make a video on something that's not Lego, I disclose it. I never want to be someone that is like, oh, this right here is actual Lego, or I'm my fake Mr. Gold figures, that's real Lego. I'm always transparent about it. But when it comes down to it, if there is a fake company that's going to sell a more detailed figure that looks better in the mock that I bought or the set that I bought, I'm going to want the thing that looks better. And I haven't seen a compelling argument from Lego or anyone that defends Lego on these printing debates as to why Lego can't do this. People have said it's a money thing. It's a money saver thing. Find that very hard to believe when the set is $250 and there are adults buying this, or people that say, oh, well, it's a kid's set. It's a kid's toy. Do kids not deserve a quality product? And at $250, I don't think little Jimmy's gonna be the one that's buying that set primarily. So I just, over the past couple of years, I see the quality in some of these things decrease a little bit until Lego starts putting out these figures that actually look good. I'm gonna try and buy the figure that looks best, where that may be. I look at the Marvel CMF series as a great example of Lego nailing like something on the head, like the printing, the quality, the figures. 10 out of 10. Like I have a sealed one right there, a 6-pack of the minifigure packs. I love those things to death. And they all got insane printing, but then some of the sets, like nothing at all on them, and it's just heartbreaking to see sometimes. So yeah, I got these figures and I make videos on them, and it sets me apart from people too sometimes. So
well, I mean, it's all informative and good stuff. I mean, it catches my attention. I mean, I'll just be scrolling and it's kind of like junk food for my brain, but whenever you're on, I'm like, okay, I need to pay attention a little bit more. So
oh, thank you.
It almost sounds like from what you were just talking about, there needs to be Lego Ideas sub-theme just for minifigures, right? If there's a minifigure that has, 10,000 votes, then it is. And they might have to, they could do 100,000 minifig release at, $6 and something. People would buy that.
They're the biggest toy brand in the world. I don't see a reason as to why some of these characters just can't get great printing. I have not. If there's a compelling argument, like if Lego is like it cost 50 times more to print a minifigure with leg printing, I'll back off a little bit. But there have been some figures that I see that are like these random side characters, and they get custom molded helmets and custom like printing all over, arm dual molds. And I'm like, but the figures that people actually want to see don't get this kind of love. It's frustrating sometimes. So yeah, I get these figures and they're fun. So
okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video, and I didn't, is that this is actually going to be a 2-part series, right? So we're going to have the second part sometime the following week. So we'll just go ahead and wrap it up right now. All right. So once again, I'd like to thank Paula's Typing for joining us. We'll catch everybody back a week from now when we do part 2. As for now, I am Jim with wolfofbricks.com. Always go out there and get it.